How do you do? Mr. Carl Lemley feels it would be a little unkind to present this picture without just a word of friendly warning. We are about to unfold the story of Frankenstein, a man of science who sought to create a man after his own image without reckoning upon God. It is one of the strangest tales ever told. It deals with the two great mysteries of creation, life and death. I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
It's alive. It's moving. It's alive. Oh, it's alive. It's alive. It's alive. It's alive.
In this review, I'll be taking a look at the Neca Universal Monsters Ultimate Black and White Frankenstein's Monster. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's start off by taking a look at the packaging. This figure comes in the standard 5-panel window box packaging seen on the Neca Ultimate figures. Towards the bottom on the front, we get Frankenstein Ultimate Frankenstein's Monster. The word Frankenstein appears to have blood dripping on the letters. Above that, warning, the monster is loose. The majority of the front of the box is taken up by a red colored image of the Frankenstein's monster's face. That red face on top of the black background really does give it an evil and sinister appearance. Located on the bottom of the side of the box are Universal Monsters and Neca logos. Moving up is an image of the figure. Here's the bottom with the barcode. The opposite side panel has a different picture of the figure. Here's a look at the top of the package. Turning around to the back side, at the very bottom it lists the included accessories. Above that are several product shots of the figure that showcase the different heads and accessories. As you can see, there are multiple ways to display this figure. And once more at the top is the same bloody Frankenstein text, as well as the hang tag. The front flap is connected to the box via Velcro. Upon opening the flap up, the inside of the flap has yet another product shot of the figure. Through the plastic window, we can view the figure and all the included accessories. Here is a look at the plastic insert once removed from the package. Now with the figure completely removed from the package, let's take a closer look. There is a reason Neca is my favorite toy company, and the evidence lies with this figure I'm holding in my hands. Neca are in a league of their own when it comes to the amazing, highly detailed sculpted figures they produce. This figure looks as if it walked right off the screen. Now while there is a color version of this figure, the one I have here is the black and white version. With that said though, there is still some nice paintwork going on, especially on the head. For those of you who might not be familiar with this Frankenstein monster, it is based on the 1931 film Frankenstein, starring Boris Karloff as the creature who was brought to life by Dr. Frankenstein. I simply cannot get over how good the sculpting of this figure turned out. This figure would simply not be complete without the bolts on his neck present. The hair is sculpted nicely, as to see all the individual hairs. There is a nice use of shadow effect around the eyes, and I really like the way the eyes look, as if they are halfway rolled back in his head. They even included the gash on his forehead. Moving down the body, he is wearing a button-up jacket with a shirt underneath. Just look at the detailed sculpting on that jacket. All the wrinkles and folds just add to the amazing look of this figure. The jacket has a textured appearance all throughout. Looking at the hands, you can see the sculpted bones and veins, making this highly detailed figure even that more realistic. Moving up the arm, the sleeves of the jacket continue that amazing detail. Here's a nice side view of the figure. The right arm is just as nice as the left. Even the inside of the hand looks realistic. Here is a closer look of that texture on the jacket. For those of you who might be interested, the jacket is glued shut and will not open. Moving down to the lower half of the body, the pants continue that great sculpted detail as the jacket. I really like how it wrinkles and folds more around the knees, as it makes sense that it would when the knees bend. Now we have come to the monster's famous tall boots. Fun fact, the boots were made like that so that the monster would tower over the other actors in the film. That way it would give the monster a more terrifying and frightening appearance. There are peg holes in the bottoms of the boots. Turning the figure around, here's a look at the backside. Whereas other toy companies tend to slack on the backside of figures, Neca continues their amazing work all throughout their figures. Like I said before, this gives their figures that added realism and sets them apart from the competition. The sculpting and design of this figure gets a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. Now let's go over the articulation. The head is on a ball joint and therefore can look left and right. It can also tilt really good on both sides. There is also articulation in the neck. The two together create an even better range of movement. The head can look down this far, and it can look up this far. The arms can go outwards, as well as forwards and backwards. There is rotation at the elbow, as well as a bend that goes about 90 degrees. The hands are able to rotate 360 degrees, as well as hinge really far up and down. The waist can swivel, as well as slightly tilt side to side. There is a slight ab crunch, but due to the jacket, you won't get much. The legs can go really far outwards. There is also rotation at the upper leg. The legs can kick forwards this far. They only go backwards just a little. Similar to the elbows, there is rotation at the knees, and they do also bend about 90 degrees. The ankles can rock side to side, but there doesn't seem to be any rotation in them. There are two additional heads that come included. To swap the heads, just pop the current one off the ball peg. Then simply pop the new head on. Here you have the head with an angry facial expression. The head sculpt is just as impressive as the first one. They did a great job sculpting the open mouth and the teeth inside. The paint is nice and clean too. The next accessory up are the shackles. They are really nicely done in my opinion. They aren't real metal chains, but they are fine enough. The shackles are sculpted closed. I will show you momentarily how they fit into the figure. The chain itself has some decent length to it. Here we have the open hands as if he is reaching out to grab something or someone. These are just as detailed as the hands that come in the figure out of the package. To swap the hands, just pull the current ones off. It may take a little force. The hands have the pegs connected to them. To place the shackles on, when the hands are off, slide the shackle over the wrist, and then simply pop the new hands on. And here you have a new display option for the monster. This might be my preferred display option, to be honest. I think it looks fantastic. Here's a look at the second alternate head sculpt. This one is a happy expression. While it is accurate to the film and looks just as detailed as the other two, I'm just not that big of a fan of this head sculpt. It makes him look too goofy in my opinion. The next accessory up is a single daisy. It is quite small, so be careful not to lose it. It's a fine accessory and looks just like what it's supposed to be. Next up is the second daisy. This time there are two sculpted together. They look just as fine as the single one. Finally, here is the last set of included hands. These are for holding onto the daisies. Once again, they look just as good as the previous two sets of hands. So with those hands attached, the daisies just slide right into them. And here's yet another display option that honestly comes from one of the best scenes of the film. Those of you who have seen know exactly what I'm referring to. Now let's compare Frankenstein's monster to some other Neca figures. First up is the Neca King Kong. Here he is alongside a predator. an Ultimate Terminator, and finally an Ultimate Striped Gremlin. So that is my review of the Ultimate Black and White Frankenstein's monster. I absolutely love this figure, and it is honestly my top 10 figures of the year so far. Neca once again goes above and beyond. While black and white, this figure still has amazing sculpting and paintwork, and I highly recommend this figure. Once again, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as well as click on the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. Hit that like button if you did enjoy this video, and follow me on social media, links are in the description below, and sharing this video is much appreciated. Thanks for watching.